Thanks everybody for coming. It's great to see you all here tonight. And as we work together to navigate through the next chapter of Sail Beyond Cancer. So my name is John Wojcik. I'm new to Annapolis, moved here in 2022. And I'll tell you my story in a minute. I'm a full-time college professor at Anne Arundel Community College, and I'm going part-time in starting in June of 2025 to give myself more time to work with Sail Beyond Cancer Annapolis. And just want to let you know off the bat that we will be sailing with Sail Beyond Cancer Annapolis in mid-April of 2026, just like we did in 2025. We're going to continue the mission, and I'm really excited to be invited by the national board to help spearhead our advancement in this next phase of Sail Beyond Cancer Annapolis. So thank you to the board for nominating me to serve in this role in this capacity. So Kimberly and I, we moved to Annapolis in January 2022 and didn't know anybody. We had no ties or connections with the Annapolis community. So we actively sought out stuff to do. We're joiners. And Kimberly joined the Naval Academy Spouses Club and the Naval Academy Garden Club. And 2 months later, we learned that Kimberly had breast cancer. And 2 months after that, I helped her recover from a double mastectomy. 2 weeks after that, we walked to the spring sailboat show downtown at Eagle Alley. And Kimberly still had drainage tubes pinned to her sweatshirt with safety pins that led to plastic bottles, and um, that I had to measure twice a day to make sure she was progressing well. And we hid the tubes in the little hoodie pouch. And I remember that day. It was a yellow Annapolis hoodie. It's an Annapolis in gray letters, and there we were at the sailboat show 2 weeks after surgery. Um, and so we get to going through the different booths, and one caught my eye. Was a Sail Beyond Cancer booth. And so Kimberly stood across the table from the volunteers at the booth and didn't really want to engage, obviously. And I had a brief engagement with some of the volunteers and grabbed a flyer. Kept the flyer, and time went by. We waited till she recovered. And then in August of 22, it's interesting how life kind of intersects. I got accepted into a leadership Anne Arundel flagship program, a program that pairs flagship participants with nonprofits to work on a special project together. And so I go there, and it's pitch day, and sure enough, I bump into Daryl and Suzanne. I recognized from the Sail Beyond Cancer booth over a year ago. And we got along great, and I was lucky enough to lead a project team with them to build a workable strategic communications plan. It took us 9 months to do. And after that, Kimberly and I proudly sailed with them as a skipper and first mate until the 2023 sailing season. Um, Time progresses. It's March 4th, 2024. Kimberly calls me during a business law class that I was actively teaching at the community college. And she didn't call me once. She didn't call me twice. She called me 7 times. I picked up the phone with my class staring at me live in front of them as Kimberly told me the horrible news. She had stage 4 cancer. It spread to her hips and her spine and her skin. And despite that, living with her stage 4 diagnosis, Kimberly and I continued to sail with Sail Beyond Cancer. We sailed in 2024, we sailed in 2025, and we will sail with them again in 2026 and 2027, and hopefully for many years to come. Sail Beyond Cancer and its skippers, its first mates, its schedulers, and everybody behind the scenes, you are my support network. You were there for me as a caregiver, and you were there for Kimberly. We will continue being there with you as we support each other and our nominees and their families. I've been asked to serve in a leadership position to continue the Sail Beyond Cancer mission of serving those touched by cancer one sail at a time. And I'm not into finger pointing. It's not who I am. What I am is a coach, and I coach at the Wellness Center, and I coach men who have been touched by cancer. And not once during any of my coaching sessions has one of my clients told me, John, what I need right now is less friends. What I need right now are less people there to support me. Mike, Daryl, and the rest of the board at Sails of Hope Chesapeake are the same people today that they were last year. They're good people who want to make a difference. They just want to do it a different way. And that's neither good or bad for Sail Beyond Cancer. It just is. That is a fact. So back to the friends thing. I still see the Sails of Hope board and its volunteers as my friends, and I wish them the best of luck. Maybe this is just a perception issue. I would encourage us all to change our perspective as we look back, as we look forward to our next tack in our chapter. Can we see this as a yes and? Yes, we have friends who started a new nonprofit, and we can coexist in the Annapolis community. Yes, we need to rebuild our structures and systems, and we can rebuild it better by making things more efficient and by using modern technology and from working closely with other chapters like the one in Virginia. Yes, Kimberly has cancer, and yes, I'm a caregiver, and I still see you all as my friends and part of my support group. I know many of you on this call want answers on the why. Why did this happen? And I can't answer those questions for you. All I can tell you is that we have good people sailing different directions, and both of those things are going to be okay. I'd like to address one question that keeps coming up. Can Annapolis have multiple nonprofits serving similar communities? Absolutely, yes. The answer is yes. I'm friends with Jay McGinnis, who runs the Valhalla Sailing Project. Even though the Wounded Warrior Sailing is in Annapolis. Ever heard of Crab? Is that a competitor? No. They're doing their missions their own ways, so yes, we can all coexist in this eco space. Why Sail Beyond Cancer Annapolis? Because it's not just Annapolis. This is a national organization, and we're growing. At the rate we're growing, we could have another 20 SBC organizations all across the country, and we are a part of that. It is not just us, it's the national chapter. It's much larger than us. Um, I'm a grant writer. I'm on Annapolis Rotary, and I'm on the International Grants Committee, and I also sit on the Grants Committee for the Ratcliffe Scholarship Fund at Anne Arundel Community College. And I want to talk about grants and data. National uses information from all of our organizations to apply for grants. They need transparency with the different nonprofits. And when nonprofits close themselves off by not sharing data, it hurts the whole. It hurts the whole and is part of that ecosystem. So we're going to focus on transparency. I'm going to be transparent with the national organization. We're going to be transparent with Virginia and the other groups, and we're going to share alike as we go forward. I want to talk briefly about free will. You all as volunteers have free will. And if you want to volunteer with Crab and Sail Beyond Cancer, or Crab and Sail Beyond Cancer and Sailors of Hope of the Chesapeake, you should do all of those things, right? Love is infinite. It's not limited to one particular person or one particular thing. So to recap, we will be sailing in April. We will be working together to get us there. You all are already volunteers of Sail Beyond Cancer Annapolis, so we're going to continue the mission. I'm going to send out an email to everybody in the next 10 days or so to form a strategic planning group. I'm looking for 5 to 10 people, and we're going to look at how do we build, grow, and develop Sail Beyond Cancer Annapolis as we go forward. I think having a strategy at the beginning gives us a strong footing as we go forward.